Hey everybody, it's your boy Mo here alongside your boy Peter.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
This is our very first episode of our podcast called Binge Hunters.
Yo, we the Binge Hunters. So let me tell you a little bit more about the podcast itself. We're going to be a review-based podcast where we're going to go ahead and go into all these streaming platforms, whether it's Hulu, HBO, Netflix, you call it, you name it. We're going to go ahead and review some of the coolest, I want to say popular shows, as well as, some of the hidden gems that you haven't heard of before.
The diamonds in the rough.
Yo, the diamonds in the rough. So we're going to go ahead and put you on some of these things. We're going to review it for a little bit. We're going to try to get you interested on these shows. So you can hopefully stick around and kick it with us.
Yes. And then after that, we'll go into what we didn't like and what we liked about it.
That's right. As well as reviewing what the actual show is about.
Yes,
so
sir.
If you was cool enough to go ahead and check out the show and you liked it and you want to go ahead and follow us, subscribe, then you're welcome to do so.
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Pretty much everywhere now. We live, baby. We live.
Yo, we're in here now.
That's right.
So, Peter, take us off. What's the first show, my guy?
So the first show that I was planning on reviewing was this little show called Don't Fuck With the Cats. Have you seen it?
Don't fuck with cats.
Don't fuck with cats.
Yes, I have.
Yo.
What'd you think?
Crazy.
Right?
That's all I'm gonna say. It's the craziest
Now,
show I've seen in a while.
Peter, this show, tell us to our listeners here, is this a documentary? Is this a series? Is this something that's subbed?
So yes, it's a docu-series, if you will. It's the new genre of short docu-series that they have going on Netflix, where they take a person or take a case and they basically show you what happens.
Yes.
So yeah, it's very interesting. When I first heard about it, I was very intrigued and very interested on it. So I decided to have a look at it. And once you see the first episode, you pretty much can't stop watching.
No, obsessive, right? And don't let the title fool you. Like, it sounds weird, but it definitely takes you down a rabbit hole that you did not expect that you would be going down.
Oh, I was expecting something crazy, but this got me messed up. I'm not gonna lie. I was questioning everything for a little bit.
Oh yeah. Especially, so these people, right, in this docuseries, they, come along this video, right, on the internet. And it's about a little kitten, man, getting hurt. And if there's anything we learned about the internet, there's a lot of people, support our animal lovers. And you can tell that if somebody posts a video like that, a lot of people are going to be upset. So this small video started a small snowball, you could say, that turned into something much bigger. Of a group of individuals trying to find out who uploaded this video and why would somebody do this to a poor little kitten.
So the actual show itself is based on these videos that you see online. Some of them are like animal cruelty, violence-induced videos where people just are crazy and want to hurt animals for no reason. So the docuseries is based on one of these type of videos, and what people were not willing to stand by and just watch it. They actually want to take up arms and go after the guy that did this, which, if you think about it, is courageous. It's a very noble thing to do, but at the same time, it's kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy, but you have to admit, the internet is like the Wild West, man. Like, you can just get on there, make a profile, and be a totally different person than your regular life.
Oh, yeah, of course. You can say that you're, 6 feet and good looking, but people that know you would know that is not true.
I mean, hopefully you wouldn't use your real name, right?
That's right. You probably call yourself something else.
Or put a different picture.
That's right. So, it is. It's very interesting how this docuseries took this, I want to say, take on
a weird situation.
No, because it was the right thing to do. It was the right show, and it's very eye-opening. It makes you think about all these things and what people know about you without actually knowing you.
Yes.
That's one of the things that I really got, is that how much people learn without actually knowing you or anything about you because of the things that you post online.
Yes, you're talking about your digital footprint, right? What you're posting online, And
not even that. It's what you like.
Oh,
like,
yes,
the
you're
things
right.
that you like,
Yes.
the things that you follow, just all the things that you would like.
Because that's all on there, right?
That's
Everything that
exactly
you
that.
like, people are watching what you like, what you
That's right.
follow.
Yes.
And I could even go as far as to say that, I mean, a lot of these social platforms, I would think, are probably trying to group those people probably together. Maybe like when they're recommending friends, like on Facebook or on Instagram or whatever, people you may know, blah, 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 whatever. I'm sure some of these things, I mean, even on these pages, I'm sure you're finding a way that you're being exposed to similar people with a similar taste in things too.
Well, yes. So that's what this basically docuseries is based on. Is once the person is I guess. Well, no. It starts off with I guess the first lady
Yes,
that
body
decides,
moving.
that decides to basically do something about the video.
That's her profile name, by the way, everybody.
That is correct. Yes. So body moving is the first person that we get introduced to.
Yes.
She is an animal lover,
Yes.
and she's also like a very smart person in the tech world.
She's got like an IT background basically, and I mean she likes to be on the internet, right? She likes to do her thing on the internet, and she came across one of these videos, and she was like, "What the fuck? Why would somebody do this?" So I think that her, along with a collective of other people, made some kind of group, right, on Facebook, to try to find out who this person was, right?
So once she sees the video, right, she finds also a group on Facebook that was not happy about the video, and they decide to go ahead and find the person that did this. And this is where we start. This is the first thing you see when you start the docuseries, is finding, learning about these people, and seeing how crazy people get over people messing with cats.
Yes, correct.
So
yes,
that
and
is
you see both sides of that too, because like these people are upset, right, and they're trying to find out who did this, right? But then, I mean, like nowadays, right, there's a lot of trolls on the internet, right? People who use fake accounts to like, talk crap, you know what I'm saying? Make mean comments and things like that.
Catfishing.
Yeah, and then there's people catfishing. There's that happening too. So it's really cool to see like a modern take on something interesting that, potentially could mean a lot more than what is just on the surface, right? And how in modern day, the internet, it's all connected in some weird way, and takes you down this weird rabbit hole of a case.
Oh yeah. It's the beautiful. The internet is beautiful, and it could be very helpful for some reasons,
and very dangerous.
But it's also very dangerous, and also it brings a lot of trouble with it as well. So yes. It's the Wild West out here. You said it right. It's the Wild West. So in the docuseries, once you meet Body Moving, she talks about her passion for animals, and what she does for a living, and how she was able to, I guess, rally the troops.
Yes.
Or I guess be one of the more crucial members of the group that was actually, I guess, responsible.
Yes.
For some of these things that you see on the show. So yeah, the show itself is very interesting. It's based on a true story about this guy. I don't know if we should mention the name yet.
Can't mention it yet because it's part of the show.
Yeah, correct. So we would definitely recommend you see it, so we can tell you more about it. And if you are one of the lucky people that or I guess supporters, if you want to keep on listening after the first 20 minutes of the podcast, we are going to get into more detail of it. This is just basically the little synopsis that we will give you if you were my friend and I was trying to tell you about the show.
Spoiler free, we don't want to ruin the show for you. Haven't seen it yet.
Oh no,
so,
you definitely got to watch it. You definitely got to watch it. But yes, in the show, once you meet the potential suspects of the cat killings, it brings you down a very, I want to say,
complex rabbit hole where you see a lot of different parts moving, not only like from where this started, right? This small group, right? Trying to find out who this person was, to this more bigger, international issue that, might have gotten out of control, basically.
Oh yeah, this could have definitely been prevented if people would have listened.
Yes.
Like the group was telling the cops
Yes.
hey, we found all these clues. We even have a suspect.
Yes.
How about you go and check? And people
Yes.
were not serious at the time. This was, back in the day.
Well, and they were never sure, right? Like they were never sure, right? Because they're not like people in the street looking for people, right? They're just people on the internet, with hearsay of what they can find digitally, right? But yes, they give a lot of information that could have led the cops down the right path.
Yes. So all in all, I would say that the show is great. The show is great.
Yes.
It's based on a true story.
Yep.
And it's very interesting. And once you see the first episode, the show itself will sell itself. Like,
you're hooked.
The title doesn't do it justice because
No.
people was like, I turned off when I first heard about it. The title itself, or I think I saw the title
Yeah.
and I never clicked on it until my friend told me about it, right?
Yeah.
And then once he told me about it and how excited he was about it, I had to check it out, right? So once
Yes.
I clicked on it, once I got home, I was hooked immediately, and I had to tell you about it, and
Yeah.
then here we are.
Yes. And to be honest too, to be fair, I saw it up there too, and it even recommended it to me like every time. Like it was up there like every time. And I didn't just click on it because I thought maybe it was something about, cats.
Exactly.
There's a lot of those like
was,
Dirty Money and stuff like that
confusing.
on Netflix. So I thought it was going to be another like, hardcore series on cats, but it turned out to be a whole, mystery type of show basically that like entices you to keep watching it. So definitely thank you, Peter, for that recommendation. Because it's definitely something that I don't think I would have clicked on if you wouldn't have said, "Yo,
That's
watch
what
this.
I'm saying.
This shit is banging."
Did you understand me when I was telling you the first time? Oh, you gotta watch this.
Yes, you never steer me wrong. You never steer me wrong. So I had to. I had to.
I try. I know a few things that I try to put people on, but they never listen to me. What do I know? What do I know?
Hey. All we can do, man, is recommend, and that's it.
That's right. I will give you the word, and it's up to you for you to listen.
This is true.
This is true.
This is the way.
This is the way.
That's a different show. That's a different show for another time.
That's a different show for a different time.
So for our listeners, keep on listening.
That's right. That's right. So, what is your final take?
So,
your final spoiler-free take.
Yes.
What would you tell a person about the show in 5 seconds or less?
Yes. So, 3 episodes, great, each an hour long. Sweet and dry. They don't like, murky it with like details that you don't need to know or like, all this information. They're very good at presenting the facts in a very chronological order to keep you hooked on so that it's almost like you're learning everything as everybody was learning it during the case. So I would say that it's a good, if I had to score 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10. If I had to be a strong number, I would say 8.5 out of 10. If I have to, commit to a number,
8 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10.
I got you.
Really good. Really interesting. Keep me hooked the whole time, and definitely recommend. Definitely more of a mystery docuseries. And if you're, one to be shy about the gore and stuff like that, it doesn't show you any gore or anything like that. It doesn't even show you the video. Like, it doesn't show you the full videos of what happened or like any of the violence. It just shows you like before the video goes into all that and people's reactions to it. So it's definitely tolerable.
I got you. Okay. All right. So yes, I would definitely agree that it's a high 8, maybe even a 9, just because the wow factor of the first episode keeps you wanting more. Because that's all it takes is you watch the first episode and you want to see what happens.
I'm tough on these shows, man.
Oh no,
you gotta earn that 9. You gotta earn that 9.
I will, be harsh on some of the, very popular shows that I think are not as hot as people were say they were. But I believe this show is actually a very good sleeper. Like, people are sleeping on this show.
Yes.
But they need to watch it. You need to put as many people as you can on this show. Yes. And I'm trying to do my best. I'm not sponsored by Netflix or anything. This show is absolutely mind-blowing.
But Netflix, if you want to sponsor, we were here from day one.
We've been a fan, day one, subscriber all the way. We actually pay for our subscriptions. We're not like other people.
Exactly. Right? I ain't sharing with nobody.
That's right. So yes, the show itself is basically like those CSI shows, True Detective, all these shows about, finding out who did it, but on steroids, because you actually have to be there, and if you think about it, that could be you solving this murder.
Yes.
Because all you really need is a Facebook account and a
Yes.
crazy group of friends
Yes.
that's going to walk with you through every step of the
Yes.
way until we find who did this, terrible act.
That was the crazy thing, is that every day, run-of-the-mill people just literally on the internet were able to find out all these things and like potentially basically help, a lot of people figure out a lot of more details about this case, basically.
So, yes. So, once again, I definitely recommend the show. Don't fuck with the cats.
Yes. Now that we're done with that, we're going to go into our spoiler version of it, where we're going to discuss what we liked, what we didn't like, and dissect a little bit of what was going on in every episode, basically. So, Peter, here we go. Going into episode 1, my guy. What'd you think?
Happy places. And then there's another part of the internet, the seedy underbelly. I was on Facebook one day.
And I found this video. I pressed play.
It was the worst video I've ever seen. There's an unwritten rule, rule 0. Don't fuck with cats.
That's right. That's right. Rule number 1 or rule number 0, whatever you want to say. Don't fuck with the cats. So, this show is insane. The first thing you see is the intro, of course. And in the intro, they show you all these things that are about to come that you don't see in the first episode at all. Like you see, the cat video, or at least the beginning part of it, because they can actually show the actual video. But you see, you get introduced to, I guess, the first main person.
Yes, body moving,
right?
Yes.
You get introduced to her. She, she tells you about her background in tech and how she is able to, I guess, look through and maneuver her way online.
Mm-hmm.
So she is in charge of, I don't think she's in charge of
I don't think she's in charge of
creating the group.
Yeah.
She just finds the group and she just gets added to it.
Yeah, I think she adds. Maybe she gets added to it or adds to it. I don't even think they explain that in the show. But yes, she's the first character that we talk to. Upset about this video, right? Her alongside a guy with this gentleman called John Green. Talk about how this video upset them. How they were like, "Holy shit, this is fucked up. Let's find this fucker."
Yes. So these people, right, were so enraged about watching this little, video. Well, I don't want to be insensitive here, but it was only a video. But they were so triggered that they would spend so much time of their lives just finding a guy that did this and, try to get him to justice.
And to be fair, though, he did taunt them, even from the go. Because as John Green explains, one of the first things that he noticed about the page that uploaded the video is that the page was a sleeper page.
Yes. I do remember that part, but let's go back for a little bit. Yes. So let's start.
I'm just trying
in
to
chronological order, like
Yes.
they do, right? So the first thing you see, or the first person that you get introduced to, is body movement. What's the first thing that you got? Just the first glance of body movement. What was your main, I guess, opinion of her? Like, what did you think?
I thought, she was, I guess, just.
She looked like a cat lady. I'm not gonna lie. She looked like she was a crazy.
Yo, that's messed up. Leave that
cat
lady
lady
alone, bruh.
know?
Yo, all right, look. I mean, maybe she gives that vibe off, but throughout the show, maybe she changed. Did she change her mind by the end of the show? Do you still think?
Oh
she's
yeah,
a cat
of course.
lady?
In the end, right? You're like,
I didn't think.
her.
I didn't think she was a cat lady. I just thought that she was just somebody that likes to be on the internet, likes to get on Reddit, likes to follow a lot of pages just like everybody else, and might spend a little bit more time, on certain pages and things that she likes on the internet, basically. That's all the whole vibe I was getting, to be honest.
I mean, you're right. She does give me that vibe, but also gives you the vibe of being a crazy cat lady. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So she was very, I guess she was down for that time period. She had just
got broken up with somebody,
she
right?
just got broken up, and
Yeah.
she was going through a rough patch, and
Yes.
she just wanted to release some time
Yes.
on the internet while socializing on Facebook, right? And she
Yes.
comes around this video, and it kind of messes up, or I don't think messes up, but it kind of gives her like this motive to keep on living.
Yes.
Right? She's
I wouldn't say keep on living because no guy worth that, but
all right,
not
all right.
living.
You're
but
right. You're right. I was wilding.
yeah.
But yes,
like, bruh.
like she sees this video and
Yes.
she gets enraged by it, so much so that she decides to see who did this, right?
Yes.
Who did this?
Yes.
So she goes and she finds a group that actually wants to find the same person
Yes.
that she is,
Yes.
and they begin to chat. She sees all these things that people are posting, and what people think might be
Yes.
the person that
But
actually
before
did.
all that, I think something that somebody found, right, that enticed them to really look into this. And we meet this other gentleman, John Green, right?
See, yeah, this is where you meet John Green, is when
Yes.
she starts looking through all the people, and then
Yes.
he seems like the coolest guy in the group.
Yes.
Like he's not just saying, oh, I think is this person, or oh, I
no,
think
he's
is
thinking
this.
about it meticulously.
He's thinking about like, hey, maybe we should look at the stuff around it.
Yes,
Hey, we should
exactly.
think about
Which-
maybe the bed, or like
Yes.
he's
Yes.
thinking outside the box.
And even further than that, before he started to look at, before he started to look at all that stuff too, one of the first things he did was like, okay, who is this, right? What's on this page? Nothing.
Oh,
Is this
yes.
a real person?
Yes.
It's a sock account.
Yeah, that's the first thing I would have done.
But
It's like,
wait.
see who the uploader of this
Yes.
video was. It's
Yes.
like, and why does he have
Yes.
this video, right?
Yes.
So everybody was looking at the video. Everybody was looking at what was in the video, and then
Yes.
who might have been. This man went, or I don't know if it was somebody before him, but it looks like he knew, or he had the right idea. He goes into who uploaded the video, what type of person was the person that uploaded the video,
Yes.
and then that's where he finds some of the clues that most people would have missed.
And when they start out on this account, there's only one clue. There's no real information. There's literally just one thing that account has liked, and it's the movie Catch Me If You Can, basically. And that's how John Green knew that this guy was enticing people to see if they could really find out who he really was, right?
Oh yeah, it was a race. It was a
Yes.
race to see who
Yes.
could find out and if they could actually catch him.
Yes. Now, what's crazy is that, once they, I guess, got motivated to find out who this guy was, right? Like you said, they literally make a floor plan of this guy's apartment in the video, to find out, what's in the video, what can we find out to identify this guy, basically.
Oh yeah, they went full CSI on this guy. They went and they saw what type of mattress he has and what type of doorknobs those were and everything that they can actually possibly see
Yeah.
in the video.
And
And they try to actually find it on
Bro,
real
and
life.
I'm not gonna lie, man. It looked like they took out AutoCAD real quick, and I don't know if anybody's taking an architecture class or some kind of engineering class, but they took AutoCAD out and made a diagram of the room, they were even drawing the sockets on the walls.
They
and shit.
had absolutely everything. And then they actually took the video and they cut it up into every single frame in the video.
Yes.
In order to find, extra clues that you don't see whenever you watch in the video,
Yes.
which was a little bit of crazy. I'm not
Yes.
gonna lie. You either have to be super smart or super crazy or maybe both in order to do
Yes.
these type of things.
Yes.
So I feel like it might have been a little invasive. So this is where I feel like it got
But-
a little problematic. It's like,
You
yes.
you say it's problematic, bro, but this guy killed a cat, man. I think
mean,
I think
yes.
once you killing animals on the internet, it's put the gloves on, anything goes, my guy. I'm a
mean,
fucked
yes.
up person, and you know what I'm saying. If people want to find out who you are to get you, I guess some justice, out of the bad shit you're doing.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you. And I want to say that, yes, I would have possibly been looking for the guy.
But you probably wouldn't put
If
as much
I would-
effort in, right?
Yeah, if I were if I were in that group, but
Yeah.
I don't think I would have put this much effort.
Yeah.
But I nonetheless want to give them a shout out because they actually did, the right thing. They were, even though I think it was a little sketchy, and how invasive they might have seemed and they might have looked trying to find this guy.
Yes.
They end up I want to say doing the right thing, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, okay. So they find certain clues in the room
Yep.
that kind of give them an idea of where he possibly could be.
Yes.
At first they thought that, this guy might have been in Russia.
And why did he think he might have been in Russia?
Well, because they hear some background
Yes,
noises in
the
the
voices.
back. Yeah, they hear like maybe some people talking in the background.
Yes,
and
but
they're talking in a specific language.
what does our girl body moving do though?
So our girl here, body moving, she pays a little bit too much attention, and she finds that somewhere in between the conversation, it kind of cuts off.
Yes,
Like it's not really
which
a
is crazy.
conversation, right? It's more of a recording
Yep.
or like a video playing in the background, like somebody
Yep.
was listening to a video on YouTube, and then it kind of cuts off.
Yep.
So she kind of hangs on to that, and she's like, "Oh, so they aren't really in Russia. He was just playing us all along."
Yes.
It was
Well,
it was just
and
a
she finds
recording.
that out, right, because she hears a click, right? Like a click where it cuts off, like you said. And then she does a little bit of extra work, right? Because
Yes.
because a lot of these people are paying attention to what's in the room and stuff like that. So it's really cool that she sees that maybe this whole Russian thing might be a decoy.
Yeah,
and
the
then,
guy is a total troll.
he's the
he was-
biggest troll, man.
He was trolling them from the day one. He knew
Like,
people were gonna
I'll
try
leave
to
you-
get him.
I'll leave you breadcrumbs, but then I'm gonna leave you breadcrumbs that are gonna lead you down
I'll
the
give
wrong
you the
path.
wrong breadcrumbs.
Yes.
I
Yes.
was like, I'll lead you to a different path that
Yes.
is totally different. Like you thought you was gonna get close, and guess what? It was all a plan.
Yes.
So I want to say that it was a great, cat and mouse game that we see here, at least in the first episode, where like
Yes.
this man was always, one step ahead of everybody. He
Yes.
would, leave certain clues
Yeah.
in order for people to find them, only to be just placed there.
Yes.
So they could be led to a wrong path.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm not going to say, the guy was, I guess entertaining, because that guy was a dick,
But smart motherfucker
But
trying
he
to
was
fucking
pretty
fuck
smart,
with people.
in that sense. And I guess he was asking for it since the
Yes.
beginning. And we'll later on learn why he did certain things that he did.
Yes. And what's even crazier is, I mean, you gotta admire body moving, man. Like dude.
I mean, shout out to her. Like I
yes,
said, I
like,
can never get enough.
The
shout-outs
blanket,
to
the
her.
blanket in the first video where he kills the cat, right? She finds out that the blanket is on eBay, like, and there's only one sold, bro.
How did you find that? How did you have like I couldn't be able to do that. Like, how did you find the one blanket that's on eBay?
I mean, if you search enough, man, I mean, you'll find it. I mean, I think it was the only one like it too. I think if you look, I think that even to sell something, right? There's only so many keywords, right? So like, if you search those right keywords, I mean, it'll lead you down, a clue.
You know how many blankets there are with like a wolf in them? It's like
I mean,
have
a
to be
lot, I
thousands
guess.
of, And then she said that in one like particular sense, she was like looking for like 14 hours of, European
Yes.
doorknobs, and I was like, yo,
Yes.
you must be super free, available all day, every day.
And it was a cool clue, but at the same time, that blanket could have gone anywhere in the world.
And it's all these.
But it was
these
cool that she found the blanket. You know what I mean? That was literally sold on the internet.
I mean, you don't know. Maybe this is just like a part of the Netflix little spice that they threw in there. Maybe it's just like little.
You think Netflix found the sold listing on eBay and was like, yo, let's just put this in real quick?
No, they probably was like, all right.
Nah, she found it, bro.
She found it.
She found
you
it,
think
bro.
so?
Hell yeah.
All right,
She don't lie
We
about
probably
that.
have to do a little more research. On
Oh
like,
my goodness.
I think
have
we
faith
did-
in body moving, man.
Yo, shout out
she
to her.
she took us the whole way.
Shout out to her.
And John Green and
John
everybody
Green.
else in
John
that group.
Green is the unsung
I'm sure
hero. That
everybody else was
man-
helping out.
That man was actually putting in work.
But yes, that didn't help. But the clues that did help, right? The cigarettes that were in the video,
Yes, the cigarettes, the vacuum,
the vacuum cleaner,
the vacuum, and
I think the plugs.
the plugs. Yes, the plugs
Yes,
were
which all
also
pointed to
helpful.
what region?
So they were in the north side, the
Yeah, North
American
American side.
Yes, yes. So they, after they, discuss it and they see all these clues, it turns out that this guy might be in North America, right?
Yes.
They don't know where, but he's on this side.
Which is cool as shit because they're like, yo, he could be anywhere in the world. But then they singly were able to map it out to one whole big ass region, I guess. But still, nonetheless, a region that they could search through, basically.
Yes, yes. So another thing that this show tackles, right? And I think very interestingly is trolls.
Yes.
So within the first episode, right, there is a small segment where they're in the Facebook group, right? And then there's a guy, I think, that is within the group that
Post a picture.
he posts a second video.
But before that, he posted the pictures.
What picture?
So he posts pictures of the dead cats, like one in the fridge, remember? And then a picture of his face with the dead cats. So we were talking about how he was a troll a second ago, and he does the most troll thing possible, right?
Oh, yes.
He infiltrates the group. He infiltrates the group and posts pictures of the dead cats to entice them even more before he posts the next video.
So, yes, after
Which is crazy.
The first video of him actually killing the cats, unfortunately, he posts a secondary video just to show what happens, like the behind the scenes of the actual video where he gets the actual dead cats and he starts posting them around his room, and it's sad, but this man was a troll all along.
Yeah.
And game recognized game.
Game recognized game, right?
Yo, let me stop.
Yo, chill out, bro. Chill out, bro.
So yes, this man was a troll. But no, I understand. I kind of forgot about that part. But yes, no, I was talking about the other guy, the guy that was portraying to be the guy that actually did this videos, right? I think it was Ramsey.
Jamesy. Yes.
What?
Vistami.
No, that's his real name.
That's his real name.
But his troll name was like
Ramsey.
Ramsey.
Oh yeah, Ramsey something.
No, it's Ramsey. Shoves
kissing my ass or some shit like
it's
that.
shoves a lot in his ass or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it was some troll last name.
Last name, right? And so
but time out. Before we talk about that, right? So this guy that Peter's talking about that infiltrated this, right? Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead, Peter.
Where were you going?
I was gonna say. I know it's funny, guys. I was gonna say. Before we did all that though, it was funny because in the docuseries it was just funny. I wanted to bring it up too. We see this biker gang. It's not a biker gang, but it's an organization who gets in your face about animals' rights. Before we start talking about this other guy, and they're just like, they look like a biker gang that goes around saving animals, and it was just funny. I just wanted to mention because they interviewed the head of the organization, and he's like, so we're an organization that gets in your face about animal cruelty, he's all like, yo, but on the low, I don't, that's our legal name, that's our legal statement mission. I don't want to get indicted.
Yeah, that's right. We might, forcefully get him out the streets, but this is alleged.
Yes. I just wanted to bring them up because, right, it was the group on Facebook, shit ton of people.
That is how they find this
the group,
fake guy.
Yes. And then this other organization are getting involved in finding this guy, right?
Yo, I should have totally wrote some notes like you did.
Yes. Yo, I'm just trying to be prepared for the one time.
Yo, I was totally not prepared. I came here for a good time and not a long time. If you know what I'm saying.
It's just a conversation, my guy. We're hanging out, doing what we love, right?
This is what we do every Friday night.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
But yes, this guy, and I don't know his name.
Let's talk about the organizations. I think the organization itself had a lot of questions to answer. You know.
The guy was really upset because this video really upset him. And he talked to his sister, who's a psychiatrist, and she would like calm him down apparently because he was like so upset.
Oh yeah. So this guy himself was an ex-military, or was he an ex-con? I don't understand. But
he looked like he been through some shit. Like
this man
he
was
looked
not
like a tough guy.
Oh no, this man was not right, and he needed help. Or Jesus, I don't know, but he needed something. But this man had a good heart. He was willing to do whatever was necessary. To get any animal abuser off these streets.
Yes.
And you know what? I respect that.
Gotta respect the guy trying to do the right thing, even though it's a little questionable.
Even though it was a little questionable and, people were scared.
Yeah.
That man is a needed bad.
Yes.
He's a needed bad in life.
Yo, he's your Batman?
That's right. That's right. He's not the hero that we want.
He's the hero we need.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Let me find out Batman is out here beating up people to save your cat.
Yo. 1-800-Batman.
He'll beat your ass if you touch a dog the wrong way.
That's right, yo. You better watch out. You better watch out. But okay, so they get introduced to the Facebook group, right?
Yes.
And then after that, it's clues galore. It's clues here, clues there.
Yes.
They think they found it over here. They think he found him over here.
Yeah.
And then they find
It blows up. Everybody's like, involved.
They go from having like 1,000 members to like 15 or 20,000 members.
Yep.
And then they have clues around people around all over the globe.
Yes.
Until somebody gets pointed to like a certain person. And this is where Ramsey comes in.
Yes. He posted a video in the group
about another cat
torturing video.
And he's laughing about it, right?
Yes. He's
like
trolling.
He's just trolling.
Well, no. I don't think it's laughing about it. So they post a video of a cat being burned.
Yes.
And
but the troller guy.
But the troller guy is like, I kill cats. No. He posts the video, and then he talks to his sister, and his sister is like, yo, what if you just ask this guy if he did it? Because I guess they see a guy posting the video of a cat being burned, and he literally asks him, yo, are you the guy who did, what was the original bad video called that was submitted? 2 kittens, 1 boy.
2 kittens, 1 boy, yes.
2 kittens, 1 boy, yes. So the biker gang guy, which we got to figure out.
Yo, that's big time.
Big time.
Yeah, we just gonna call it big time. That's big time.
So big time over here, Mr. I own this organization that's gonna beat you up if you mess up with cats. Allegedly, or president of this club.
That's right.
Because it might be a nonprofit or something. But anyway, this guy, right, talks to his sister, and he's like, yo, this guy, he posted in your group chat. Why don't you just ask him if he is the guy that did the other video? So they ask him, did you do this? And the guy and the sock account replies, yes, I kill cats, LOL, right? And then it was clues galore. Everybody starts submitting profile pictures of all these people, right, to find out who this guy is.
That came after. I feel like that came after. And we might have to rewatch this because I feel like you're forgetting it. But no. So first, once they get introduced to the group, right?
Yeah.
They post a wanted screenshot with a picture of what the troller guy, like the main guy that actually did it.
Yes.
And then that's where
like, because he posted a picture of him with the cat with his little floppy hair.
So I guess I don't know what we should call him before we actually say his name, or should we say his name?
Nah, we gonna call him Cat Killer, bro.
Yeah, the Cat Killer, right? So they post a picture of
the real cat killer,
the real cat killer's blurred face, right?
Yes.
And then they post a reward money for him, right?
Yes.
And that's where clues come all the way from everywhere in the world.
Yes.
And then one of those is the guy that actually trolls, the fake troller, right?
Yes.
The fake troller posted a video of the cats, and then big time questions them like, "Hey, are you the guy that did the 2 kittens, 1 guy video?"
Yes.
And he admits to it, right?
Yes.
So once he gets an admission, he posts it on the group, and then all hell breaks loose.
Yes, because this guy, he owns up to it, and they literally find like his original page, right? With I guess his real page and his real name and stuff like that.
Which is crazy because this man had a fake account with a fake name with so many fake things.
Yes.
And somehow they still found his real identity, where he lived, who the people that he used to hang out with.
Yes.
And everything about him would actually be in him.
Yes. And then they blew up his social media, bro.
Oh, yeah. And then after that, it was death threats on top of death threats on top of death threats. And then this man got so depressed and,
we come
sad.
to find out that he was a copycat.
He was dealing
with
this
depression.
For attention. Yeah, he was just trolling. And unfortunately, the wrath of the internet was too strong, and he ends up killing himself.
Yes. He commits. We find out that he commits suicide. And it's crazy that somebody would, take something that's horrific that somebody else did or bad and troll people by making a copycat fake persona for it, right? And then we come to find out that he was a troubled individual, right? And then he commits suicide, man.
It's crazy.
But I will say this though, and here's what I think, man. I think that
Yeah, Yes, Jamesy. Rest in peace, of course.
Yes,
You know.
Jamesy was his fake first name. He does like a little whatever troll at the end there.
No,
No,
Jamesy was
because
his name.
his real name is Edward Jordan. His real
Okay,
name
yes,
is Edward Jordan.
Yes, yes.
He was the internet troll basically that wanted to be a copycat. He ends up killing himself. But as I watch that, I start to question Edward Jordan. He kind of took credit for something for somebody else who, you can tell has an ego by posting these things. And as I started to watch that, I started to question myself, did Edward Jordan, did he help steer this in the right way? Because, shortly after we get that information, at least in the docuseries, we see that somebody starts to take credit for the cat videos by saying their real name, basically.
So that's like a big plot hole that I still...
Because he gives his own name.
That is what I'm saying. Like, in the docuseries, right? The first episode, around towards the end, where like they got to this very dark moment where the guy kills himself.
Yeah.
So like the investigation kind of gets, I guess pushed because everybody kind of feels bad that in the hopes of finding the guy that did it,
Yes.
kind of caused even greater harm.
Yes.
People kind of back off and the
Yes,
investigation kind of
It dies down.
Yes. So the actual cat killer, right, who is secretly trolling everybody,
Yes.
and created all these, stock accounts just to post things on the internet and can be technically untraceable, right?
Yes.
Is messaging some of the people in the group, his name.
Exactly.
He's like, hey,
The cat killer
yeah,
is.
I think the cat killer is this guy, Luca Magnotta.
Yes, which is crazy, right?
So this guy is so full of himself that he wants people to actually know who did it without actually saying it.
and that's the crazy thing. When I was watching it, I was like, I know this guy lost his life, but like, did this guy push Luca to, expose himself a little bit more just to,
I think
keep the flame fanning,
mean,
you know what I mean? So like, because it was going back down, right? Because people were like, oh shit, somebody just died. This got a little too serious for me. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. You're definitely, I want to say, have a point here, because I would have said the same thing. However, no, I think Luca had the plan all along where
He was gonna expose himself. Basically?
no, like he was gonna lead this on until he had what he wanted, which
I got
was
you,
recognition.
Yeah.
It just wasn't going the right path. Like
Yeah.
he was gonna give recognition to somebody else, and then so he had to like give a big breadcrumb, if you will,
Yes.
in order to steer people back into the right direction. Because
Yes.
in his head, probably he was losing some of the momentum. Right?
Yo, and now that I think about it, the biker gang, their group was called Rescue Inc.
Also, you put your notes in the bottom. I mean, that's why you missed it this whole time.
You know what, man? I'm a little.
You know what?
I'm a little spotty with
Yo,
with the
that's
notes.
it. That's
A
it.
little,
You're fired. Whatever it was that you do around here, you're fired. But I like Big Time. We can keep that in here. Big Time sounds
fine.
right.
We'll call him Big Time.
That's right. That's right, yo. Shout out to Big Time.
Yes.
But yeah, it's crazy. When I saw the first episode, I was like, I totally missed this part of it.
Yes.
But when we watched it,
Yes.
I was like, he basically gave himself away. Like he was so full of
Yes.
himself that he needed to take credit.
Yes.
And then some people, I don't know who exactly got the actual messages, but some people received those messages because it was not just one person.
Yes.
And then they got, an inbox or a DM from a stock account saying, hey, the guy you should look at is Luca Magnotta, right?
Yes.
So after that, we get back to our girl, body moving, and,
she looks into who he is.
Yeah, exactly. She goes on Google and she
Yes.
finds like
Bro.
100 and some
Yeah.
like
Like this guy
fan pages for
yes.
Luca Magnotta.
Yeah, dude is like fucking in boats, like with like champagne, like having a good old time all over, like, cities all over, like everywhere. This guy has like this whole lavish life basically on the internet, and she's like, dude, this guy's like, he was on Cover Guy on Canada TV. Is this guy really the guy we're looking for? This guy that has this incredible life? Like, why would somebody so like, that lives this cool like rock star, movie life be killing cats? And that's when we see we see all these people coming up with all these photos all over these places, right?
Oh yeah. So it's interesting how he has like 100 and some like fan pages,
Yep.
but nobody knows who he is. It's
Exactly.
yo,
Like,
this
who is
man-
this guy? Like,
this
what?
man either was really trying to make it and, unfortunately never could.
Yeah.
And, he had to do what he had to do.
Well, he was
sadly.
foreign, dude, you know what I mean?
To get fame, right? People do crazy things for clout.
Yes.
And, that's
Yes.
that's one of the main points that we have to tackle within the show. There's definitely a lot of them.
Yes.
But that has to be added to the list. Like somebody has to keep track of some of the points gets tackled in the actual docuseries.
Yes.
Is the things that people do just for a little bit of clout, or
Yes.
fame.
Yes.
So so this guy who has some, so many fake fan pages,
Yes.
seems to be living a lavish life.
Yes.
This man has been taking photos all over the globe.
Yes.
And he has a relationship with Madonna.
Yes.
And
yeah,
this
like they
man-
were saying, like, oh, he must have been dating Madonna. Or
yeah,
something
exactly.
Like,
Like this
They see
man
all
has
these
been living
videos.
life for like the past few years.
yes.
And we find all types of information about him. We find that he's an aspiring model, and
yes.
he
And they actually find videos of him talking, right?
yeah. So that is
Yes.
another clue that they find within the actual show.
And they find that tabloidy stuff
no, they find that
the Sun posted. They find all that.
yes. So they
Yes.
find a few clues, but one of the clues that I want to
Like it's almost like they went into a haystack and like there's like some needles in there, but there's a shit ton of haystack in there as well.
Oh yeah. So they find clues that
hey.
are helpful.
My
There's
bad, people.
some of those are just trolls, right? But
Yeah.
I like Body Movement's take on most of these things.
Oh, yeah.
Like yes. Well, it is interesting that this guy might be a famous person.
Yes.
She starts asking herself, "It's like, well, why him?
Yes.
If it seems like he's living a great life, he's living life. He's going places. He's doing
Yes.
things. So why would he want?"
And not even off the bat. I mean, she was just looking at the pictures. You know what I mean?
No, I mean she was looking deep into it.
Yeah. Because she
I
could
don't
just tell off the
know.
bat. She could already tell, like, hey, some of these lines look weird.
No. Yes. Eventually, she finds that most of these things might be just photoshopped in there.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is like she was thinking outside of the box. It's like, okay, so yes, why would this person want to kill cats, right?
Yeah.
So she sees that this guy is also like whenever he finds a video of him like being interviewed, he sounds local. He sounds, I would say, very American.
Yes.
If you will.
Yeah.
So yes,
He's got that deep voice.
He has a very deep voice. He sounds very very Americanized, if you will, or I don't know what you would say this, but yes,
Yeah. I mean,
he
I just thought
doesn't
he had a deep
sound
voice.
I want to say foreign.
Yeah. He
know?
definitely doesn't sound like he's Russian.
Exactly, that's
or
what I was
anything
getting
like
at.
that.
It's like he sounds a little bit
Yes.
more local, so that's where the chase
Yes.
kind of becomes a little bit more localized
Yes.
to the
It
show
just
itself.
double confirms it, right?
Yes. So she already had some type of suspicion where
Yeah.
the killer might be here
Yeah.
in
With the
North
cigarettes,
America.
because they had the surgeon's comments
So
on it.
this is where you
that-
start getting a little bit,
Yes.
on track of where the
Yes.
actual show is going. Is that
Yes.
okay? We might have a suspect,
Yeah. And then
which is very interesting because all right, the show itself hooks you up in the first 30 minutes. It's like, all right, cool. I'm invested. I want to know what's happened. I want to know who's behind all this.
yes.
So the show, brings you up on this very, exciting high of, oh, we got to find him. Oh, we got to find him.
Yeah.
And then it knocks you right, down whenever the guy kills himself, right?
Yes.
So you're like, oh, man, that was exciting. But at the same time, it was kind of sad at the end.
Yes.
But then the show starts building up. This is what I like about the show is that, yes, while you had a very, very low point, it also does this wonderful job of, giving you clues that are really going to help out later in the show.
Yes.
So this guy is an aspiring model, and he really wants to make it, and it looks like he's willing to do whatever it takes just to be famous. In this
Yes.
interview that he finds, they tell him like, hey, you're very handsome, you have a, very deep voice, but you're not cut out. You don't
Yeah.
have enough, muscle. But he's like, no,
Yes.
I'm willing to put in muscle. It's not hard. I can do it.
Yes.
Just give me a chance. But unfortunately, he doesn't make it.
They're like, yeah,
And
next
then,
year, bruh.
This is where he starts asking, or I guess being the person that he's gonna turn out to be.
Yes.
Which is doing whatever it needs to do in order to get fame.
Yes.
So, okay, so we meet a suspect, Luca Magnotta, right?
Yes.
We start learning more about him.
Yes.
We see that this person, I want to say, is infatuated or very what's the right word?
I mean, infatuated.
Very interested in like killers, right?
Yes, because yes.
They find a interview
Tabloid,
that he does with like a Canadian radio station.
Yeah, like a Canadian tabloid.
Yes. Where like he calls the radio station.
Yes.
To tell him
to say that, hey, for some people are saying that I'm dating Carla Hallmark.
Yeah. So
yes.
like this very famous.
Who is she was a wife of this other gentleman, right? That was killing people.
Yeah. So he's like I guess associated with another mass killer, right?
Yes.
And like he doesn't want that in his I guess public opinion of him.
Yes.
So even though he's, I want to say, declining that he wants no part of associating with them, he's bringing them up in a way where like, all right, yes, it's getting him looked at because it's crazy that somebody will want to associate
because
with this
she's
person.
like apparently the most hated person in Canada.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
Her husband killed a few young women, basically, including Carla's sister, actually, and he like raped her basically too. So come to find out, the reason that she's hated is because we find out later that she was actually helping her husband kill these ladies, and she basically took a plea bargain with the police, the Canadian police, to on trial to snitch on her husband, basically, and we find out that she was also involved, and that's why she's the most hated woman in Canada, which is pretty fucked up because that dude killed her sister.
Yes. I mean, I want to say that yes, totally good context to the situation here. But where I was going with it is like, yes, this guy is willing to, I guess, do whatever and say whatever just to get some notoriety, right?
Yes. Well, and you were saying that he's kind of obsessed with killers, right? There was that, right? That he talked about her. And then he also used a profile picture of this victim that was murdered by these other two serial killers, Ian Brady and Myra Henley, basically. And it was fucked up because people noticed that, that was one of the victims of a killer. So now you start to see this person who was killing cats also be kind of, obsessed with a few murderous individuals in society.
Exactly. Yo, I think Body Movement was onto something. You know, we are getting her perspective throughout the actual, docuseries. Is all the things that she's noticed, all the things that she learned throughout the process.
Yes.
Which, shout out to her for finding all these things, but also, bitch, you crazy.
Yo, leave that lady alone, bro.
All right, no. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. But, all right. So, this guy who got very heated about, him being associated with this killer.
Yes.
I guess he gets requested to do an interview.
Yes.
With this one tabloid person.
Yes.
Right? Then the tabloid person also gives his accounts of what happened.
Yes.
In the docuseries.
Yes.
You get to see the guy that actually interviewed him, and he said that when he arrived to the actual station or whatever, he looked like that one girl's, like the killer's boyfriend. Like,
yes, like he bleached his hair and everything.
He looked exactly.
He made
like
himself look like
exactly.
her husband, basically.
Yeah, the mass killer.
Yes, and that was crazy. And actually, and even when he was talking about it, in the interview on the show, right? He was like, he's telling me this crazy ass story, and I told him, he wanted me to meet him somewhere, but I told him to meet me at the station, right?
Yes.
And he was like, you could tell he was like a little worried when he said it. He was like, I'm kind of glad I did that, knowing what I know that.
Yeah.
You know, he's like a
Now
little
that
shook. Like, he's like, yo.
Now that I watched the docuseries,
Yeah.
I made the right call.
Yeah. Like, yo, I might have been in a little bit of danger. Like,
That's
yo.
right. That's right. You know
Yes.
what? Shout out to y'all.
Yes.
Shout out to
But it was
Batman.
cool to see that they showed us the actual footage of him interviewing him and him being like, yo, I'm not people are doing death threats at me because they think I'm dating this lady, but I'm not dating this lady. And it was kind of like, what the hell? This is crazy. Like, they got this guy like talking.
And you know
And
what?
he's building this whole persona.
Yeah. I mean, this guy was either very messed up in the head or he really had a very high, I want to say, opinion of himself. Like
Yeah.
this
Or he
man-
just wanted to get famous,
Well, yes, but in order to want to be famous, you have to feel like you are, it.
Yes.
You have to be the man. You think you got it, and people just don't notice it in you. So you're gonna have to do whatever you have to do in order to make it. So this man was clearly full of himself. He was willing to do whatever it takes just to get a shot.
Yes.
And unfortunately, he was never really, I guess, given that shot, and that's why he went this far just to get famous.
Yes.
So, okay, so once you see what he does at the station, and you get a little bit more perspective of him and how he acts and what some of the interest is that he's into, and once again, you learn so much from him
Yes.
without actually knowing him.
Yes.
Like we already know his interest. We
Yes.
already know
what he want, like what he's interested in,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like the type of person that he is. He's kind of
Yes.
vain.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like he's full of himself. Like he has this ego, right? You can tell he really wants to be recognized, right? Like
Yes.
he looks sad when he doesn't
Yes.
get that job, that interview, right?
Exactly.
And you can tell that he's very articulate, meticulous with that interview, with that tabloid when he's like, I'm not associated with this lady. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just crazy that, like you said, like, it's like, damn, I'm learning a lot about this person, but I don't know a single fucking thing, like real thing about him, except for that his name is apparently Luca Magnotta.
Exactly.
Say his name, say his last name again.
Luca Magnotta.
Magnotta.
That's
yes.
right. That's
yes.
right. Luca Magnotta. Or some people, I guess, if you're like French or something, is it Magnotta or Magnotta?
Magnotta.
Yeah, Magnotta.
Yeah, because I guess
Luca
Canada,
Magnotta.
Canada has that, like,
yeah,
that little
Magnotta.
French.
Yeah.
With Quebec,
It's Luca
Quebec
Magnotta
and all that.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So Luca Magnotta graduates from killing cats.
Yes. But before he does that, Body Movement is seriously looking into all this, right?
Oh yes, she's in the Batcave.
Yes. She's in the Batcave. And she gets tagged in a video, or the video gets sent to her.
Oh,
and it's
yes.
a video.
Yes, this is another plot hole. So let's put a pin here. This is another plot hole in the thing. So in between, we see all of this, right?
Yes.
We see the interview of Luca Magnotta and where he's at and what he's interested in, so on and so forth. We learn more about him. Body Moving, our girl, right?
Yes.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Tagged on a video. You
Beautiful
said,
woman. Yes.
Okay, settle down. You have a wife. You have a wife.
Yo, my bad.
All right. So, yes. So, she gets tagged in this video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Titled Body Moving 99.
Yes.
So, it's aimed to her.
Yes.
So, it's late at night, and she clicks on this link.
Yes.
And what is the first thing she sees? She sees
slot
a
machines?
video of a place that looks very familiar to where she actually works.
Yes.
So it looks like either someone knows who she is, because Body Movement is not her real name. It's not, who she actually is. It's a made up account of, somebody that she wants
to be.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So somebody was able to know where she, works and what she does, and it would have been crazy if we would have seen her in the video. Like,
oh my God, bro!
She would have lost it.
I would have lost it. I would have been like, "Oh shit!"
I'm not gonna lie, she was shook. She was shook. She was like,
"Of course you shook, yo. If somebody shows you where you work and you don't even know this person,"
she said, I had to tell my boss. Like they would have
hell
thought,
yeah, like she might be in danger.
No, she was like, I had to explain all these smart, technical people that I go home and stalk a cat killer at home. So it's like, how would I look once I go home? I go to work and I got to tell my boss that,
because he sent a video of her whole job, basically, of where she works.
She was compromised.
Yes.
So let's put a pin on this, because yes, while this is
all happening,
part of the story.
Yes.
It never really gets answered. Like,
how did he do that? How did he find out?
Who did this?
Yeah.
Like, who did this?
Yeah.
and why?
Yes.
Right? Because she doesn't get addressed.
Yeah.
She doesn't get like, okay, so is it a sign to stop looking for him?
Is it a threat?
Is it a
I know who
threat?
you are. I can come find
Exactly.
you.
She never gets.
It's on site.
There's no follow up to this.
Yes.
So I feel like this is a plot hole
Yes.
just to spice things up through the docuseries, right?
Yes.
Even though you're already interested and you want to know if Luca Magnotta
Yo, but
is
it's actually
or not.
happened. It happened, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean maybe we have to get an interview with Body Moving out here.
Yo, body
you know?
moving. Come on the podcast
Yeah, come
for
on
the
the
one
podcast, Body
time.
Moving. And I apologize if I offended you. You know, just in case.
didn't.
Just in case.
I think she's the shit.
All right. So yes, plot hole here. But
Yeah.
let's get back to the story.
Yes.
So, Luca Magnotta. Oh, one more thing, before we graduate to the other thing.
Yes.
John Green. John Green is also doing the same thing as Body Moving. Some would say maybe a little more because this man is actually putting in the work. He is calculative. He is very, very meticulous about what he's researching.
Yes.
And shout out to him. He might not look like much, but it looks like
Yo,
that
what
man.
the fuck?
He had a very promising
Yo,
CSI.
John
future.
Green, come beat this man's ass.
No. I apologize if I offended you, but no, I mean nothing but the best. This man really is
Yes.
the savior in the show.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There is a time where, Body Moving kind of loses it, and John Green is there.
Yes.
All right? So
he's there to pick it up. Yes.
he's there. He never quit. He was there all along. So
yes.
late at night as well, he gets tagged in a different video, right?
Yes.
This is where everything goes downhill.
Yes.
Because
Where
once you're in the high, you're like, all right, we might have something here with this Luca Magnotta guy. He gets tagged in this video,
Yep.
and everything goes downhill because there's another video called One Guy, One Ice Pick.
Yes.
And there's a guy getting stabbed to death. And
Yes.
everything is crazy after that.
Yes. So, Luca, what's his last name? 'Cause I can't
Magnotta, yeah.
Magnotta.
Yes.
He graduates and actually ends up killing a person.
Which John Green said, and he called from day one.
Day
He
one.
was
This
like,
guy is fucked up.
"Yo,
We should
have
do
to
something
stop
about
this
him.
because this man is gonna eventually want to
Yeah.
kill something bigger than just kittens, right?"
Mhm.
And yes, he at this point in the story, we don't know who is it. Well, we have an idea of who it could be,
Yeah,
right?
because
And
he's
people
taking
say
credit
right?
for it. Yeah.
But we haven't actually seen him. Like, he hasn't put his face on any of the videos. This is more of the group thing. Like, the group has an idea of who it is, and you as a viewer kind of have an idea, and you in your head, you're like, oh, that's totally the guy. Like, based on the clues that you see,
Yes.
it's totally the guy, right?
Yes. And to be fair too, to add another pen right to the point, he confirms it, right? Like you said, he doesn't give up. And what he does, right, to confirm this, is in one of the pictures, right, where Body Moving kind of gives the first clue, right? So she gives the first clue, I think, where, and maybe I'm getting everything jumbled up, right? But you can do something with files where you can find out if there's GPS coordinates in it, right? So they use this program, right, to find out coordinates of this one picture, right, where he's sitting in kind of a mall. Kind of a mall.
That wasn't like the first 30 seconds of it, man.
Yeah. But, time out. But listen, hear me out. I want to say that these people, they didn't just like say, oh, this might be the person. They like went out and double, triple confirmed their work, right? And like you're saying, like, yo, this Luca might be this Luca guy, right? Before we talk about the video and what happens after the video, right?
Yeah,
because what they do is first they get the coordinates, right? First of all, let's go back a couple of steps, right?
Yes.
All right. The vacuum. This
Oh my
lady.
Yo, throw away your notebook.
No. Time out, because we didn't talk about it. This lady, and we talk about this internet shit getting crazy. This lady went on one of these forums, right? Posted, y'all seen this vacuum before? And they literally were like, yo, this vacuum is this model number, right? This random forum. And then she's like, oh my God, this vacuum is only made in North America, right? Then we have the cigarettes that point to North America, right? Yeah. Then we have the GPS coordinates in a picture that they use some kind of program to find out that it is some area in Montreal, right? Then we find another picture, right, that has a gas station in it, right? And they're like, oh, what's this fucking gas station, right? They look it up, how many of these gas stations are, and it's in fucking Canada as well, right? Okay. So then John Green takes it a step further, right, to find out how many of these gas stations are in Canada or this area or whatever, and he narrows it down to 3 somehow. He gets lucky, right? And then not only that, he takes the picture that they found of him at that condo with the gas station name on it to go down the streets to see what things around it are very similar, and he finds the fucking building, bro, facing the gas station. Not only does he do that, and I don't even know how he confirms this, if he calls the police and tells them, hey, this guy might be responsible, or if he sends somebody else. But somebody goes to that apartment to say, hey, does this person live here? And they say, oh, this guy named Luca Magnotta lived here, but he moved to some fucking foreign country or whatever. So they confirm that it's Luca through all of these means, right? I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of that. That's all.
Well, no, you make a very valid point. Yes. These 2 people have invested so much time, so much resources, so much of their time and effort just to find all these clues, to try to collect as much evidence as we possibly can, just so we can present this to the authorities and try to get this man locked up, right? So yes, while they were going super crazy, finding all this CSI type like that, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yes.
Because just trying to listen out to all the stuff that you just told me, right?
Yes. It's a lot to take in.
It sounds like, a lot
it sounds like some crazy shit.
It sounds like some CSI type shit. I'm not gonna lie. So, yes, these guys were actually there. They were in the trenches. They made all these posts. They tried to track all this information.
It still didn't mean shit, though, because, I mean, the guy ended up doing whatever he was going to do.
No. It leads to this docuseries. Like, how will we know all this information if we didn't have the story?
Yeah.
Right? So, this is part of the story, right?
Yes.
So, yes, while they were getting, the information and try to collect more and try to find very, I guess, conclusive evidence of who the actual person was, while they were doing that, this man was already preparing to do the worst or even more terrible act, if you will.
Yes.
So yes, they've been working. They've been trying to find who did it, and Luca Magnotta goes and he kills a person, right? So it turns out that Luca Magnotta is gay, right? And he posts a Craigslist ad about, having some sexy time with a guy.
So okay, before we go into that though, I just want to talk about how it all, okay, the video happens, right? Let's go in chronological order too.
Yes, the murder video
for the
happens.
one time. Yeah, before we get into all that, the video happens, right? These people, they set up Google alerts for that region in Canada, which was Toronto, I think. But nothing happens, right? They're confused. What the fuck? Why aren't we? Where's the body? Because things happen. A week passes by or something like that. It's a certain amount of time, right? And then we find out that one of the pictures, right, which is kind of current because of the season. Again, these people are wild. Okay.
Oh yes.
Yes. So because they find out one of the pictures is kind of currently with the current season, right? It's kind of crazy, and they go down the streets. No, they see one of the light. You know how you can click the little button to walk across the street. What are those called?
Oh, the Google View.
No.
View? On
not
Google Earth.
Not the street view, but if you're literally in the middle of the city and you click the button across the street, what is that light post called?
Oh, the stoplight.
I guess the cross light. Yes. The cross light is not yellow. It's not yellow, and it's yellow in Toronto.
Oh yes.
They figure out it's black.
Yeah, the stoplight. Yeah.
And then they find out that it's only black in Montreal by the picture and the things around it, which was crazy.
It looks like
yes.
Body Movement and John Green was sponsored by the FBI or something. Yes. Because they were really well trained.
Yes. So they figure out
once again, these are regular people.
Yes. But if you
what
love
you do, you gotta be careful what you share online.
If you love what you
there is always people out there watching.
Oh yeah, of course.
So that's one of the issues I want to actually tackle throughout this podcast. Is while it is great that these people were doing a good.
You think it's fucked up that all your shit's out there and you can get just tracked or murdered or stalked because all your shit's out there?
I feel like if you're willing to put in the work, just as much as Body Movement and John Green and all these people were out there
something bad
looking.
Something bad could happen to
If
somebody.
people really wanted it to, they could find everything about you. And I
Yes.
think that's how most of these identities and most of these things get stolen from you.
Yes,
It's like
yes.
because of all the things you shared.
Yes.
You know, nowadays you post where you're at currently. You can be at a restaurant and be like, "Oh, I just checked in at, Applebee's or something," right? And if somebody was following you, while somebody might like that, like, "Hey, that's a good restaurant or something," right? Shout out to Applebee's.
Yes.
They
I
can
haven't-
also know where you at,
I haven't
who
been
you
there-
with.
I haven't been there in a minute, man.
Well, that's because you a skinny boy now.
Yo,
You're a
when have
skinny
you
boy.
been to Applebee's?
Yo,
I've never heard you say, "Yo, let's go to Applebee's."
worry about yourself, all right?
All right, whatever, man. Whatever you do on your free time.
Yo, you don't even know I got 3 families.
Yo, this is why I can't trust you, bro. I'm gonna have to start looking at you real closely
You know what?
online.
Shout out to my secret family.
Yo, stop.
So yes, so it is crazy how much people know about you without actually knowing you,
Yes.
right? So you always got to be careful what you post online, and that is one of the things that this docuseries really brings a light on, at least to me. Yes, it is important to stop cat killers and killers.
Yes.
It is also important to see what you actually post online because you never know. People are really watching, and if they really wanted it to, they can track everything about you.
Yes.
But that is not what we're here, at least not right now.
Yes.
We're here to see what happens during the story. So
Yes.
once we see that Luca Magnotta is in, where is he at?
Montreal.
He's in Montreal,
Yeah.
right?
Well, we don't know that at all. So what we know is they find out that, oh shit, he might be in this other region, right? Let's set up our Google alerts for that region, and then bing, oh shit, body found in trash can, right? And then we start to hear that, oh, some body was found, a torso was found in a piece of luggage, right? And all these body parts were found around this whole area, right? In Montreal. And they're like, oh shit, this must be the body, right? But they're not too sure either. So we're at a point here where they're like, oh, we're going to send them all the information, right? But for some reason, they can't get back to us. And then the show pans out to, which it gets crazy, the police investigation, right? Because now we see like real authorities getting involved, talking about like, yo, this dude killed somebody, like, and we just found a dead body.
Oh, yes. So the group itself does post the Google alerts just to be informed of where the actual, aftermath of the murder happens.
Yes.
So they can, try to inform the person.
Because they're not sure if the video is real either.
Yes.
Like, they see somebody get stabbed and they're like, holy shit.
No,
this guy.
they also see like a rotating head in the shower curtain.
Okay,
Like,
yes.
so they know the stuff that happens. They just want to know where in the globe.
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
where
yeah.
in
But
the
you
earth
see
it
so much
happens.
shit on the internet. You're like, fuck, is this real? Is this not real? You know what I mean? Like,
Granted, it was 2012 when this happened,
I
so
guess.
people were a little
you
bit
say
more.
they didn't have that like Zack Snyder movie budget
No,
to make a video
I mean,
like that.
I guess people were a little bit more, ignorant then. They believed everything they saw on the internet.
I'm with you.
So nowadays,
I want to say ignorant, but like the internet was new and they were like, yo, holy shit, this looks real.
yeah, but nowadays everything is fake news. Everything has to be
Yeah,
double
you
confirmed.
question everything.
Everything
Yeah,
has to be
yeah,
double
yeah.
confirmed.
I
You
guess
got to
'cause-
check your
yeah,
sources
yeah,
to make
yeah.
sure that everything is valid, valid, and everything
Yeah.
is good. So okay, so yes, they find out that it happens in Montreal,
Yes.
and they contact the authorities. They emailed this detective, and he, or is it a she? I think it's a she, right?
Well, they just emailed the Montreal police in general. They try to get in contact with them, but they're not getting back to them for some reason.
yeah, for
and
some reason they
then-
don't have communication for like a little
Yeah,
time period.
yeah.
Which is when we get the detective's point of view in the
Yes.
docuseries of
Yes.
what they found.
And I think that they just got the information really delayed for some reason.
yeah, I get
Yeah.
once again it's part of the I want to say process
Yes.
that things get lost, and then this is how
I don't think it got lost, but I think that it took some time to connect the murder to all the information that whoever these people were
Yes.
submitting, right? Because they were
Yes.
new, right? Like
Plus, it was on the internet. But
Exactly,
people
and-
were not gonna
and-
trust
and-
some internet bloggers.
Exactly, and they talk about that, right? Like
Yes.
Body Movement or John Green, they say like fuck, we've been talking to this detective in Toronto that we've already built credibility with, but this happened in Montreal, right? And then I think the Toronto detective comes off vacation. He's like, holy shit, before we get there, right? Never mind. Before we get there, we'll get there later. Before we get there, because I don't want to spoil other things before we talk about them.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. But the Montreal police, right? They find this dead torso, right? This janitor finds this dead torso. He calls the police. They come in, right? They see a bunch of plastic bags. They see a bunch of trash, right? And they are looking at the things that are within these trash bags, right, to find out who is this, right? And they come across a pharmacy receipt, and they come across something else. I don't think. Oh, it was a driver's license that says Luca how do you say his last name? Magnotta. Yeah.
You're terrible with names, but they find all this evidence in the trash that they didn't think was evidence. They just see the body. They see, what seems to be, the murder weapon. They seem to see, they see what else they see? The murder weapon. They see the poster. They see. They also find like a dead puppy, because there was also
there was a dead puppy in the video.
There was. They never mentioned if there actually was a killing of the dog in the video.
Yeah.
But they said that they could hear a puppy in the background. Right.
They could hear a puppy in the
background.
So
it looks like he ends up killing a secondary animal in episode 2.
Which was crazy, because they were like, they felt like they incorporated the puppy as an homage from I'm graduating from killing animals to killing somebody, and it was an homage to all the people that were, I guess, his fans that were following him so far, right?
I don't think they were fans, but he knew the group. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, shout out to your haters.
yes, which is really messed up.
Yes.
The dead puppy, the license that says Luca Magnotta.
They found the actual
the poster,
a
screwdriver that was painted in some kind of metallic paint, basically.
Yes.
The body parts, and then what was weird was they found most of the body parts, but some of the body parts were missing, which was wild. And then the sheets with blood in them, and I believe that was all basically that they found. And the shirt, there was a yellow shirt.
Yes, so they found all these clues, which didn't make sense to the officers then.
Yes, and when they found the license that said Luca Magnotta, they were like, "Oh shit, the person killed must have been Luca Magnotta."
Yes. So they thought that the person that was actually killed was Luca Magnotta.
Who would leave their driver's license with the evidence?
Yes.
Like, what the fuck?
Whatever, though. So they find all this evidence that is confusing. However, they do seem to know that it happened in a specific room in this hotel, right? Yeah. So they go and they investigate what's going on in that room. And when they get in the room, some of the officers said that it smelled like it was just clean. Like somebody went and they put a bunch of cleaning products over the thing.
Like it smelled like chemicals.
Yes.
He told his boss.
It looked like somebody had swept the whole thing, and there was no evidence that actually happened in that room.
Yeah.
So once you see the detective's perspective, you start to get, I guess, hopeful that they might catch him, because now the authorities know, right?
Yes.
It is not just a Facebook group that's trying to catch this guy. It looks like now, since there's an actual killing, people want to catch him. And by people, I mean, it looks like the Avengers themselves were trying to catch him, because it was Montreal, it was Canada, it was all these people that were looking for him.
Well, Montreal
so much Canada. So that he decides to move out of Canada and go to France, right?
Yes. He's on the run.
He's on the run, but we're not really told where he goes.
Yes.
Until it looks, I think John Green gets like another message from one of his group members.
Yes.
And he's like, hey.
The song.
The song that's on the video is from a specific movie, right?
Yes. And I think even the poster said Casablanca on it.
Yes. So, and the poster itself, once again, he keeps trolling people.
Yes.
All the things that he posts on his killing videos seem to be leading to something, right?
Yes.
We're not really told until the end, but it seems to be leading to something.
Yes.
So they find that in this particular movie, the opening scene of this movie leads to a globe, and then in the globe, it stops at France.
Yes.
So kind of like a clue of where he wants to go next, right?
And then at the end of the movie, They have. I haven't seen Casablanca either, but there's like an ending scene where I guess the characters, they're like, oh, where are you going, to one of the other characters, and they're like, it all ends in France, or we're going to France or something like that. And that's how it's like, oh, this guy must be going Paris. This guy must be going to Paris. Basically.
Yes.
But before he does all that, right, let's talk about the escalation that happens before that happens, right? Before they find that clue. And it's that, right, the media gets tipped off about this murder that happened. So all the media knows about it, right? And they're asking the detectives and all that stuff, and they show up to the apartment where the body was found. And then before we get into that,
yes,
the body parts were sent where?
To the
Conservative Party and the Liberal Party, the political parties of Canada, right? Which is fucking nuts. No, chill out.
It was in Canada. I forgot.
Yes.
It was like, yo, Bernie was wild.
Yo, chill. What's his name? Justin Trudeau, though.
Yeah.
It was cool to see him talk about, like, they did like a live interview, like, who would do such a thing? Anyway, so the escalation, right? Holy shit, this guy killed somebody, sent body parts to the political parties, right?
Yeah, he wanted to get fame. He wanted to, I guess, cause some conversation out there.
Yes, and the Toronto cop comes back off, and he's like, oh, shit, all this is happening, and they're looking for this person that these internet people were telling me about. And then everything comes together and gets connected, right? And then when John Green and Body Movie are like, oh, man, I think this guy is going to Paris. And I think that's when they let the police officers and authorities know, hey, we think might be where he was going. And then they go ahead and track the airport surveillance, the CCTV. And that's how they find out, oh, shit, he's really going to Paris. And then after that, which I thought was really cool, the undercover cop kind of gets involved.
But before we get there, one little step that I think we missed here is that once we are informed that, yes, it looks like Luca Magnotta is the main suspect in the killing of the video, we get introduced to his mom. So it looks like once we know that Luca Magnotta is the possible suspect of the killing, some of the officers go and visit his mom, right?
Yes.
And then we get her in the docuseries.
Yes.
We get her point of view, what she thought her son was, and, some of the, I guess, insight that we get from her.
Yes.
So it looks like she was aware that he had made some animal abuse videos, because it looked like he had told her that they had threatened him about...
Yeah, well, some family members told her, hey, we think this might be Luca.
Yes.
And then she confronted Luca, and Luca was like, yes, I posted these videos, but I was forced to post these videos because of some individual that forced him to post them in the dark web, basically.
Well, yes. I mean, that comes back later on, right? That's just foreshadowing for later.
Yes.
Which is an interesting, crazy plot hole somewhere, another conspiracy theory.
This man said it's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy. So I guess we can get into that, or you want to continue on with Luca? What do you want to do?
Let's get into it, bro, because I think it's important, right? Like, because the mom for sure is like, yo, my son would never do that shit, right? She's like, yo, he is a kind soul. He told me about this person that forced him to do it. And that's why I can't believe that he would ever do this, right? And who is this person?
Well, no. Well, a mom will always cover for her cub. That's what moms do. And
I don't know, man. My mom beat my ass.
Well, you're adopted, my nigga. It's not really your mom, she picked you up from the garbage can. So relax.
I still love you, mom.
Yo, shout out to my mom. But yes, she is writing for her son, and she was told that in the actual cat murdering videos or cat killing videos, if you look real
closely
close,
at the end,
real close at the end, you can see a third hand in the video that's kind of supposed to be forcing him to doing these atrocities.
Or somebody else is involved.
Or yes, somebody might have been in the room while he was doing these things, which is interesting because once we first see the video through Body Movement's eyes, that never gets mentioned or talked about.
Yeah.
It kind of gets missed, if you will, in the first
when
introduction.
they first introduced.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was I think the second video, everybody, that we kind of glossed over or we really didn't talk about, but it was the video with the cat and the python, basically.
Yes. So I think he does 2 or 3 other cat killing
I think he
videos.
does 2 videos and then the pictures. Oh no, he does 3.
Yes.
He does 3. He does the
Yes.
vacuum one.
Yes.
He does the He does the vacuum one. He does
And
the python.
no,
He does the drowning first.
The drowning second, and then the python one. Yes.
at the end where he feeds a cat to a python.
Yeah,
and you
so
see it all go down.
This man,
It's sad.
was
'Cause I got a cat. I'm like, bro.
I know, right? How do you feel as a cat lover, cat?
Dude, I love my
person?
cat Cindy. He's so cute, man.
Yo, his name is Thomas. Stop
His name
playing.
is Cindy, man.
Yo,
he's got a beautiful
It's not
name.
even Cindy. It's Thomas.
Isn't Cindy a beautiful name?
No,
God, I
no, it's
love
not.
it.
No, I mean, Cindy has a beautiful name, but his name is Thomas.
I hope so.
His name is Thomas. His name is Thomas.
Peter over here likes to give my cat all types of nicknames, everybody, even though his name is literally Cindy. But whatever.
His name is Thomas. So yes, as a cat lover and appreciator, I would say that it's a terrible act, and this man deserves, the absolute worst.
Yes.
But yes, his mom once again is writing for him, and she brings up this little missed piece of information that we were not informed of, that there's a secondary guy that might be involved with all this.
Yes.
And as we continue to learn more about Luca Magnotta and what he did on the days leading of the killing, right, we start to notice his strange behavior in some of the security footage of the hotel that he's staying at. We see that, he goes in and out, and he is, preparing to do this act, right?
Yes.
We also learn that he is gay. He is,
he's an escort of a sort that
he is an escort of a sort. Yeah.
Gets paid to do that.
Yeah. So that is how he was able to get his victim into his apartment.
Yes, he posted it on Craigslist, right?
He posted, something on Craigslist.
I'm looking for a fun time or something like that in so many words. And
there you go.
I'm gonna make a movie, basically.
Yeah. So he is preparing, something,
yes.
And unfortunately, this does conclude in the killing video, and we learn more. Once again, we learn more about him. What I actually know him. We know that he's gay, and we know the type of...
Well, bisexual.
Okay, bisexual. We learned that,
throughout his whole, I guess, accounts, it said bisexual.
We learned that he writes a specific way. We learned the type of, I guess, little niches that he has.
Like words that he uses.
Words that he uses, and, particular spaces and, commas that he likes to,
and that's how they were able to find his original Craigslist
That is
post.
how, and once again, Body Movement coming in clutch.
Yes.
She remembers like a post that she found back when it first started, like the first times that it started.
Yes.
And she's able to locate. Oh yes, because apparently Body Movement has been missing for like a few weeks after.
Yeah. She took a little hiatus. after.
For some reason, she got tired.
Bro,
she
if they filmed where you work at, you know what I'm saying, and you've been doing.
She did get shook for a little bit, and that's what kind of led her.
Well, what's crazy to me is that this is like a 2-year process. Like they've been tracking this for like 2 years by the end of it all.
Oh yeah, they're
which
super
is
invested.
Nuts.
They are invested.
I don't know if I could be like on the internet tracking something like this for 2 years. Like
they deserve a medal. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they went above and beyond.
They went above and beyond of what they needed to do. Right. Yeah. Some people call them crazy. Some people call them heroes.
I call them heroes.
100 Batman. So okay. So we learned that this man was able to seduce this one guy into his apartment, and it looks like he sedated him, and
yes.
he murders this person.
Yes, his name is John Lynn.
Okay,
never forget the name, bro.
Rest shout out to the victim, unfortunately, and his family. Rest in peace.
Yep.
And what else do we learn other than he likes men?
We learned that. Well, that was not only that, right, but that his acting career never took off, right? So he
Yes.
did this whole escort thing, or at least allegedly to his mom. That's what he said. He did this whole escort thing to, you know, to make money, and apparently he told his mom that it paid really well, basically. And I guess that's how he made his living, basically. Because one of my concerns was like, man, like this is crazy that this guy, you know, did this, and then we find out in, you know, episode 3 that he goes on the run, right? Like, we found out that he goes to France, right? And how does he fund this whole thing? You know what I mean? Like, he's gone, like, this is a long process, 2 years, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, how's he surviving?
Exactly.
Yeah, how does he have money to do all these things?
And she says that he's an escort, he makes a lot of money, so I'm assuming that, you know, maybe he was getting paid enough and stashing it away, right? So much so that that he was able to do that. So that was crazy, right? And then the other thing that we find out, right? Again, shout out to Body Moving. Throughout this process, she finds a blog that Luca Magnotta wrote about how to disappear.
You said his name.
Yeah.
Yes. So
The dude actually wrote like it's a blog basically, but I mean that's a small like little manifesto. Yo, how to disappear basically. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to do something bad.
This man was prepared from day one. He was writing a blog of how to disappear.
Yes.
You know, and how to do it effectively.
Yes.
So he follows this blog, and he goes to France. He begins to live, you know, quietly and try to avoid
the Canadian police because he's mailed like body parts to like one of the most important people in the whole country, basically.
At this point, he has succeeded, and you know, now people know him and they know, you know, he is a wanted person.
Yes.
So somewhere in between all of this, I feel like he's succeeded. He's like, you know, a like the Joker, if you will. Like, you know,
I wouldn't say like like not the like the Joker, because like the Joker is different. Like he's just chaos. He doesn't have a real plan. Like he is just chaos.
Okay, all right.
This guy
I take
though,
it back.
this guy's vain, so we know that he wants Nairoid. He wants to be famous, right? He wants to be recognized. I couldn't
say that again.
word. Nah, I don't want to say it. He wants to be famous, right? He wants to be known, right? And so he's done these things, right, to like get known. He's put his own name out there. He's left his license like at the scene of a crime, basically. He made a blog about how to get away with something and disappear, basically, by getting rid of your digital footprint, right? Which nobody could find anything about him currently, right? Liquidating everything and making it into cash, right, basically. And then, you know, getting a fake identity to be able to go on the run, right? So he was able to do all these things and prepare for all these things. And then not only that, then we find out that the guy was he was talking to a lawyer about how the guy that he spoke to his mom about that was forcing him to do these videos was beating him up, right? Was stalking him.
Oh yeah.
He gets a police report.
Yo, he had a whole alibi.
He had a whole alibi 2 years before.
Yeah, before anything,
that he
had an alibi. He had a person of interest.
Yes.
He had, you know, evidence that proved that he was injured.
Yes.
And he was
like a police
stalked.
report that said he was raped and beaten up and left at a beach.
Yes.
Like the Miami police
This man
person,
had a whole backup plan just in case if anything goes wrong.
Yes.
I have an alibi. I have somebody that can validate my story.
Yes.
I have evidence that would prove this. And, you know, he was getting prepared. I'm not going to lie.
Yes.
It is sketchy how, like, it's been, you know, I guess some time, like, I would say, like a year?
Yes.
Since the cat videos, or maybe longer?
Yes.
And we just learned that there's a second guy, right?
Yes.
It wasn't until episode 3 that we find out that there's a second guy all along, right?
Yes.
This Manny guy, right?
Yes.
There is this one guy that apparently, you know, got in contact with him, and they were lovers at one point, and then of course, the relationship became very toxic, and he was the one that was actually making him, you know, sell his body. He's basically pimping it out, and you know he was.
I wouldn't say pimping him out, but like.
Well, he was telling him to
to do all these things.
Yeah, go do all these things and you know have sex with all these people. Yeah, and you know
and
he was
animals and shit.
He was really
to sell it on the dark web.
Exactly. He was, I guess, the master plan between.
Allegedly, that's what he was saying.
Allegedly, that's what he's you know claiming that this is what happened.
Yes.
So we get interested. We are like, okay, so maybe he's innocent. You know,
Yes.
maybe. So this series is crazy because just when you thought you knew it, that you know
That he was for sure the
Oh,
guy.
yeah, this is
then
the
they're
guy,
like, yo, by the
and-
way, this guy thinks that somebody else is forcing him to do this shit.
exactly, there's evidence that might be there's a secondary guy and he might be the master guy, right?
Yes.
So the series, you know, continues and you start to learn more about him.
Yes.
Not Manny, but Luca,
Yes.
right? You see, I guess, the last days of what he was doing in where was he when they catch him?
When
Was
they
he-
caught him?
Was he in Germany?
Yeah, he was in Berlin.
Yes,
He was in
yes,
Berlin.
yes.
Yes.
So, you know, he's been living under the grid, and you
Yes.
know nobody knows anything
Yes.
about him.
So I thought it was cool how in that episode, in the third episode, they had like an undercover French police person. His name was Henry. Like they couldn't show his face, and he had like an altered voice, but he was talking about how he was tracking this dude down. They tracked down the hotel, right? Then they tracked him down to this place where he was staying at with this person, and now they showed the interview, right? And then they found where he was staying basically, and they found basically the name, the alias that he was using basically, which was
Yes.
Kirk something,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Which
Which was another murder or like something associated with that?
yeah, it was something associated with like another serial killer
Or like
type
it was
of
one
theme.
of the victims that I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, I'm not
but
sure
yes,
either.
it had
Yes,
something to do with
it was
that.
serial
And you
killers.
know, he continues the trend of, you know, I guess
being kind of giving like credit or like, you know, or like a common theme of like you know, like a tip of a hat to like serial killers, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying,
yes.
before him that have done bad things,
yes,
right?
yes.
But
Which is sick, but also, yo, it's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, yo,
it's
if
a
you're gonna have an
signature that
alias,
he's doing.
yeah. So this guy, should we talk about the ending, how it ends, in order to wrap it up, or what do we do?
Yeah, I mean, let's just wrap it up, right? Berlin, right?
So yeah, so he's in Berlin, right? And
What's he doing?
at this time?
How does he get caught?
It's probably been about 2 years or so, and you know, at
Well,
this
throughout the whole process, it's been 2 years.
Yes.
I don't know how long it's been since he got away from Paris to Berlin.
well, altogether,
It's been 2 years,
It's,
though.
you know, we've been starting.
From the beginning to end, 2 years.
Yes, about 2 years or so, and this guy has been living.
In Berlin, right? He's on the run, and he goes to an internet cafe.
No, I was gonna say he's been living, you know, I guess modestly. You know, he used to be, I guess a normal person. Now he looks a little skinnier. He's not as, you know, he's
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
he wanted to be a model, and now he looked
Yeah,
he looked bad. Like he looked like he was defeated. He looked a little sadder.
Like he was scrawny, he was fragile.
However, you know, he was still full of himself because he goes to this internet cafe, right, where he goes and he looks himself up.
yes,
he
on the
wants to
Interpol
know-
website.
Yeah, he wants to know if people are still looking for him, and if
Yes.
so, how much money is he actually worth, right?
Yes.
So, as he goes into this internet cafe, right, the
person
host?
working,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
his
person-
name was Kadir.
Yeah,
he
the
was the person
person
working.
that
He
actually
looked at the
worked there.
news.
He was
and
just
saw,
looking at the news.
yes.
Like, you know, what are the odds that he was just looking at the news,
Yes.
and then there was a picture of him
Yes.
saying, you know, he's a wanted man, and here comes in Luca,
Yes.
you know, asking for a computer,
Yes.
and so he does. He gives him a computer while still trying to, you know, be cool about it.
Yes.
And you know, while Luca is looking himself up, the guy.
Confirms that it's in fact him because he's looking himself up, right? Like, what the fuck?
That's right. That's right. So he confirms that is in fact Luca, and he tries to contact the police.
Yes.
Walks out of his actual establishment, and he sees like some soldier trainees, right? Or that's what he said. Or like body movement says, because we're getting her perspective.
Yeah, because they get the video of him getting caught, and they see
Yes.
like these like badass German people all decked out in military clothes.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think it was just when you watch it, it's one guy who's an actual like military guy, and
the
he
rest
has
are
like
just-
little cadets
Yeah, yeah,
basically that are in
exactly.
training or whatever.
Yes.
And I think they get the call or they're like nearby, and they go there. and they're the ones that actually arrest Luca. But they look all badass, but they're literally in training though, and there's like one legit dude basically.
Yo, I don't care. Have the full deck. I'm gonna act like one. All right, you know what?
Yeah, I mean they were rolling deep. There was like 8 of them, bro. They just like, yo, the whole troop. Let's go.
Yo, can you imagine you're on training and you gotta stop this mass murder?
Like, yo, I know it's not even your first day, but we're gonna go arrest this killer real quick. Like, wait, what?
Like, yo, I didn't sign up for this. But no, I mean it's cool. They finally catched them.
Yes.
They had him on a hold in Berlin for a few days
Yes.
before the Canadian authorities.
They want to extradite him.
They extradite him.
Germany is like, yo, take this man. We don't want him.
Yeah.
None of the airlines want to be associated with him.
Yes.
So they're like, yo, we can't help you out.
They had to get the military airplane to get him back to Canada.
Yeah.
And then when he's flying back, it looks like he's a celebrity almost because there's like a bunch of like news people.
Everybody
waiting.
knows about it. Yeah.
They want to see him. They want to make sure that it's actually him.
People are tracking the actual flight somehow. I didn't even know you could do that.
It
I was
looks
like, what?
and he's happy about all of this, right? He sees him. He sees
Well, they say they see him grin when he gets off the plane and he's going to the car or whatever. But I could never. I like from the footage I could see. I couldn't see that shit.
You can't really say that for sure, but you can kind of see why. They say
from
that.
everything you can tell. Like, and again, we are only presented with the facts that Netflix has presented us. Like, it's a great show.
That is right.
But you can tell that it's very like he's enjoying the fame. And it's very like O.J. Simpson, like, when O.J. was being chased or whatever, all the media's all over it. Everybody's talking about it and shit. And
oh, yeah. Everybody wanted to see who this Luca Magnotta actually was, right? And so we get back to when he's in the cell, right? When he is being interrogated about his crime and, how he did it and why he did it.
Yes.
Before he starts talking, he asks for a cigarette.
Yes, right? He asks for a cigarette.
And a coat because he's cold, right?
Yes.
And, as he begins to, accept the fact that he's been caught.
Yes.
He seems to be happy.
Yes.
Right? He seems to be completed. He seems to be fulfilled.
Well, he looks scared.
Well, yes. Yes, at first,
I wouldn't say he looks happy.
But he looks like that's what he wanted. Like,
I would say yes. 'Cause, I mean, from day one, he gave away too many things about himself to go into it thinking he wasn't going to get caught. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I would say.
No, I mean, yes.
We find out at the end, right?
Wow.
That these little small breadcrumbs are basically an homage to these films that he's watched growing up, right? Like.
So, yes, that's what I was going to say. Is like, yes, he seems happy because he got the ending that he wanted.
Yes.
Because if you were to look at the movie, what is this, Basic Instincts?
Yes.
Right? Where the main character, which is also a serial killer, a lady.
Yes.
Right?
It's like a thriller, yeah.
In the movie, Basic Instincts, it opens up with the same type of
scene as the murder scene.
As the actual killing video, right?
A person straddling,
the
girl
up,
straddling this guy.
The guy on top
tied
of
up.
Yeah, the girl on top of the guy.
Yeah.
And then she uses an ice pick to kill the person, right?
Yes.
And then he does the same thing. Even though he doesn't have an ice pick, he painted the screwdriver that he used to kill this person.
And then behind the bed, there's like a stained glass, like a church stained glass.
Correct.
And he did kind of the same effect with the poster, like Casablanca poster, by putting it in the
So
middle, making it look like very like churchy, stained glassy.
Very
kind of
small details, but he knew what he was doing all along, right? Yes. And so in the end, right, when we see him in the cell, right, he appears to do the same thing that this killer in the movie does, right?
Yes.
She asked for a cigarette and she asked for a coat because she was cold. And it seems like,
And he crosses his legs like her.
Exactly. So this whole time, right, his whole plot was to live out this movie that he was, in love with and he, loved.
And even the person that he says forced him to do it, Manny Lopez.
Yes.
Like,
so that is a
that person's name is the same name as the abusive ex-boyfriend in the movie Basic Instinct, which I think it's Emmanuel Velasquez or something like that, which is
Yes.
really close.
Yes.
And I think the last alias that he used was somehow connected to the movie as well.
Yes,
So
yes.
he's playing homage to the movie. He plays homage to Casablanca. He plays homage to American Psycho by using one of the songs in the movie. And the way that Christian Bale talks when he says bitch, he uses it in the verbiage throughout the whole thing. So he's basically using pop culture and all these things as a platform and as a signature for all the bad shit that he's done. And it's fucking crazy because he's almost like a modern day pop culture killer, basically.
Yes.
And that is just crazy.
Yeah, so that is one of the things that I was actually going to mention as well. So this whole time, right, this Manny guy or his alibi on who he was going to blame for doing all these things is really associated to the movie as well. It's like not only was the person in the movie have a similar name, you know, Manuel Lopez or whatever.
Yes.
He also have in real life, you know, a guy that was kind of doing the same thing for him in real life.
Yeah.
After that, we're not really told what happens with the investigation, right? We don't know if they follow up on finding out who the third hand was.
They don't, because the Montreal police goes through the phone records and they find that no person contacted Luca Magnana that night. He didn't receive any call at all, even though we see him walk a tape out outside.
Yeah,
and even though we get a video with the three hands in there, we don't get any feedback on that. But as far as the Montreal police, the feedback that we got in the docuseries, they couldn't find anything like that. The Luca Magnana's defense attorney tried to prove that the whole alibi, right, that he had made with the lawyer, the reports of this person, they tried to use that as a platform, right, to say, hey, maybe this person was being forced to do this, but he was still found guilty in 2014, and then was incarcerated for life.
Yes. So in the end, he does get caught and he does get sent to jail.
Yep.
So the good guys win.
Yes.
However, it doesn't end there.
I don't think people really win because this dude's still. We
lost
somebody in the process.
We lost somebody, and you know there was a lot of people that got hurt and a lot of animals that got hurt.
Yes.
But he does get locked up, and at least that's some type of win, right?
Yes.
However, the documentary doesn't end there because after he gets locked up, Body Moving is gets interviewed one more time, and she's glad that this happens, but she also kind of leaves us with like this little gem, right? Before it ends, she says that, well, yes, it is a bad thing that he did, and that she was trying, to stop it. She kind of mentions that, was it her fault that...
Everybody's fault.
Or everybody's fault that kind of gave him what he wanted, which was attention?
The chase?
No, it was attention.
Like,
yeah, he wanted attention.
And the chase to do the next step of his plan every which way. You know what I mean?
And
like you can go so far, right? Like, he could have got started, but like if everybody would have stopped, would he have stopped? You know what I mean? Like, the chase, I think the chase of him being chased kept pushing his plans to the next level, I think. So, I think he would have got started no matter what. You know what I mean? This guy looked like he had a plan and he was going to execute it no matter what. 2 years, a year and a half, whatever, when he was building his alibi. But I think that, like you said, yes, I think it's more so, is the fact that we chased this guy the reason where you're going?
Exactly. Is the fact that we chased him the reason that he did it further? Like,
yes. If
we would have stopped him or if we would have not tried to care as much whenever he did the animal stuff,
yes,
would he moved on to killing a person, right?
Which I was cool with her saying that shit.
So it's like, did we create the monster?
Yes. No, what I didn't like though is at the end when she's like, did we create the monster, and are you still, egging this on by watching this docuseries? And it's kind of like, bro, why would you do that? Why don't you at the beginning of the docuseries say, hey, disclaimer, like, you're gonna like make me watch this whole thing and then say you're complacent with this too, and I'm like, what?
She ends it with,
it's messed up, bro.
Did we create the monster?
I just clicked the show on Netflix. That's messed up, and all of a sudden I'm egging a killer on. What?
So is it my fault? This whole time, if I would have put you on the show,
the person that's responsible?
I'm the person that did this. Like, I'm the one that put you on the show.
We
through this podcast,
I remember stuff on the news about the Canada stuff getting mailed, but I didn't know about all this other stuff. So it was crazy to see that too. You know what I mean?
Well, yes. I mean, I think I saw this video when I was like in high school or something, where there was a bunch of videos like this going around.
Yeah.
So I remember this video, but I never really follow up on it. I never knew, if they actually caught the guy or anything like that. Yeah. Now looking at it now, it's like, all right, cool, they got him. Yeah. But I didn't know most of the things that he actually did.
Yeah, so I didn't even know all the other stuff. I just heard about the Canada stuff.
No, but it was really interesting to me where, Body Movement closes it up. He's like, did we create the monster?
Yes.
Or were we just feeding it?
Yes.
Right? So it's like, yes, we might have not created him. He was already there. He was always going to do a bad thing. Yes. But we kind of fed him on until he was forced to do
what he was going to do.
A worse thing, right? Yes. A worse thing. Because he probably would have done the animal thing. And then if nobody would have paid attention, he would have followed up.
Maybe.
Or you never know. You never know. But we are part of the actual problem, right? If we continue to give bad people attention, they will continue to do worse and worse things. Yes. And, that's where it kind of got me messed up in the end. It's like, I just watched a whole 3-hour documentary series that I couldn't stop watching just to end up saying, man, people are just bad. Yeah.
Did we watch this and give this guy
more attention?
Are we still doing that?
Are we doing it to this day? To this day.
Yeah. By making an entire 3-hour show about this guy.
And not even that. We just made another 2-hour podcast on this one guy as well. It's like,
making me feel bad, man.
When are we going to actually stop?
But it was crazy, man.
I mean, people have to see this.
It's part of history.
In order to, one, understand, right? See what happens, two. And then also, notice how much people can know about you.
On the internet. Yes.
On the internet. Yes. By all the things you share.
Your digital footprint, bro.
So not only the things that you share.
Things you like.
Things that you're interested in.
Yes.
Things that you like.
And that's only on the surface. What if you get hacked? Then they get it all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Once they get access to, your email, they're pretty much a hold of your whole entire life because they can hack into your Facebook after that. They know
what you're liking, what you're buying, everything.
Exactly.
What you're paying
Exactly.
off.
Yo.
Crazy.
It is crazy. So people got to be careful, man. People got to be careful what they like, what they listen to, what they follow. Yes. So it kind of got me a little bit more interested on what I actually do online. Yes. So just be careful out there. Shout out to Body Moving, John Green.
Yes.
And
shout out to Netflix.
Shout out to Netflix.
And definitely shout out to the victim of this, John Lynn. Who,
yes.
this should have never had to have fucking happened.
This should have never happened.
And
that is right.
We can't forget that a friends and a family lost.
Also to his family. To prayers to him, prayers to his family. Yep. And I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Again, 8.5 out of 10, bro.
8.5 out of 10.
I would give it a 9 out of 10, my guy.
You were cold-blooded. You were cold-blooded.
But it was good. It was good. It kept you enticed the whole time, and you learned a little bit about history, shit that happened during that time, right? And of course, when it comes to serial killers and people like that, I wouldn't call him a serial killer, just a killer, right? Because he only killed one person, but then he did kill those animals. People like that, it gives a big picture view of, like events leading up to what this person did, right? So it was definitely an interesting docuseries to watch. Yes. But again, 8.5 out of 10.
I would say 9 out of 10. I was very excited about it when I first told you about it. So I still keep that same energy. I say 9 out of 10. Fame is a hell of a drug. People will do anything just for a little bit of fame. So you got to be careful with that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I like the commentary. I like the people's side of the stories. Not everybody was like blame him. Yes. I like the insight that we got with the mom. I like the insight that we got with the detectives. The head of police.
It was a mix of everything, right?
It was
like
a great.
They had a little bit of everybody's perspective, and it's kind of like, all right, this is what we were able to gather on these events.
I would have liked if we would have got Luca Magnotta as a final interview.
Dude, I was looking him up the other day. I think it said that he was married in prison.
He
got married in prison, and then his mom wrote a book about him. So I mean, she's making some money, I guess.
Wow. Okay. All right. I mean, I guess you gotta grind it out. Even in bad situations. I don't know if I would buy that book, but it's interesting to know that he's still out there.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, he's in life. I don't know if it. I mean, I'm sure at a certain point. I don't know how jail works all the way. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't been to jail, but I'm sure at a certain point. I think if you like good, you can.
He was convicted in
be
2016.
up to for parole. Yo, shout out to my mugshot. Not chill, bro.
For shoplifting.
CMPD, chill.
At the dollar store.
Yo, chill, bro. Nah. So I don't know. I mean, we'll find out. I guess if he's in there forever, or if he'll be able to be up for parole or some shit like that. But yeah, the last thing I read, he got married in prison.
But
is crazy.
yes. It was a great series.
Yes.
I was hooked to my seat, and I wanted to see more. Yes. The only thing I really didn't like about it was only 3 episodes. I was expecting a whole season 2, but.
Bro, what?
I wanted to learn more. I wanted to follow up on this Manny guy. Like, I was hooked to my seat. I wanted to learn more.
I think, they could have maybe addressed more of it, but for the most part, I don't know. The Montreal police were kind of like, this avenue is closed. Like, we literally did not find any record of this person, so they just kind of let it go.
Well, yes. And then there were a few plot holes, like, the video that Body Moving guy.
Yes.
And
like we don't find out, did he post that? How did he get that video?
Yeah, where did that video come from?
Is it from her? Is it a post that her job posted and he just found out where she worked? We don't know.
Also, we never learned what John Green actually does.
Yeah, like I think it was one of those things where like he's like, yo, I want to be anonymous. You know what I mean? Like maybe he doesn't want to put his business out there. I think they do give Body Moving's real name. I forgot what her name is. I think it's Diane something. But yeah, he's just literally John Green in quotations, which is cool because I think he just, he wants to remain anonymous, man.
I mean, yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
Man has his own life.
I respect that.
Let him live his own life, bro.
I respect that. And, it's kind of cool that in the end, you do see Body Moving and John Green meet for the first time.
Yeah, it was kind of cool too. Yo, we met up.
Exactly. I thought they were gonna hit it off, but we're not really told what happens.
I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what you're trying to say.
She had just broken up with somebody, and we never learned about John Green. We don't know if he has a family or anything.
You need to settle down. Bro.
Shout out to the secret family.
She a strong, independent woman.
3 of them.
Leave her alone.
So shout out to all 3 of them.
Yeah, I can't trust you, bro.
But it was interesting. It was very entertaining. I'll give him that.
Yes,
and
for sure.
I can't wait to watch the next one.
There's nothing else, bro. But next time we do the second episode, we're gonna bring another show with another little hidden gem out there, that maybe people can enjoy.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a bunch of hidden gems, and I would name a few, but that would be another story,
giving too much away
for another podcast.
Yes.
So once again, this has been the what are we again?
The Binge Hunters.
The Binge Hunters.
Yes.
And we are out.
We are out. Everybody have a good day. Thank you for listening.